So, as an independent artist, did you ever get approached by majors?
Yes, I did. And funny story, the only I had a deal on the table. It was around 2006. So I had a song that did really well. It's called "You Don't Come Around No More," and it was the only song that I ever had on commercial radio. It was a great record. It was featuring Miss B. You may know her, Misbehaving. She has a song called "I Beat That Chick with a Bottle." Right? Have you ever heard that song? You know what I'm saying? That's my homegirl. That's like little sis. You know what I'm saying? And I was, we go way back. Like before she even started rapping, I knew her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I worked with her on her first writing, like showing her how to structure writing and stuff like that. So we're good friends to this day. And so I had a song with her called "You Don't Come Around No More," and that song got some traction organically. Like it was just a good record that women liked. And so that got the attention of people because it ended up getting played on commercial radio just a little bit in North Florida. It got played a little bit in Atlanta because back then it was a show they had called Dig It or Dish It. I don't know if you remember that. You know what I'm saying? It was they play your song on the radio and people call in and tell you whether they like it back in the day. It was before we even had online music reviews,
gotcha.
right? And so they played the song on there and people loved it. So they played it. They played it a couple of more times. You know what I'm saying? But then they hit me with the paywall. You know what I'm saying? Like the inevitable paywall. You know what I'm saying? That you're gonna run into to actually get a song out there. So, but with that little bit, I had people approach me from a major, and the thing about it is, it was the timing of it all because basically the way I got plugged in with that deal and the reason why I basically just didn't sign was because first, two reasons. The person that was bringing me through the door, because you need people to walk you in, you know what I'm saying, kind of sort of to get you to that.
Yeah.
They had a production company. So what it was they loved me as an artist. They knew I was a songwriter too. I had written songs for some of their artists. I had written hooks for them, so they knew who I was. And they seen me just doing all this work on my own. And they were like, "Listen, bro, we got the deal. We got the deal with Warner." You know what I'm saying? And so, you know how labels give production companies deals and let them put music out? Like, Neptunes or whatever, they, clip signs and Neptunes and blah, blah, blah. You sign to the production company. So they wanted me to sign to the production company, which basically the deal would have been with the production company through Warner, right? Distributed through Warner. Problem with that is they wanted all the pub. Even though
they wanted
publishing? Yes. They wanted the pub. And I'm like, dog, first of all, I'm a writer and producer and engineer. I'm gonna be, for a fact I'm gonna be doing all the work. I'm not giving anybody.
So they want both.
Yeah, because they're producers, right? You feel what I'm saying? So I was gonna be rapping on some of their track, obviously, of course.
Gotcha.
But I was gonna produce some of my own stuff. But they wanted the production. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so y'all want composer and production, and you know what I'm saying? And then whatever the label takes. And then this was the dawn of 360. This was around the time the 360 deals were just coming out. And so the deal that they gave me, it was one of the very first 360 deals that people were giving out. And I paid for a lawyer because I was like, I read I looked at it, but it was, contracts can be a little bit intimidating. Even if you smart and intelligent, they got a whole bunch of just lingo in it. A real one. You ever seen the real ones? You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I, me being me, I paid an entertainment lawyer, you know what I'm saying, to go over the contract. And again, remember, this is the beginning. I kind of hit it was an unfortunate moment for me because it was the beginning of 360s and I didn't understand it myself. And then the labels were like, this is the only way we're going to do it. So it was going to be a 360 and I was going to be signed and it was going to be through a production company, which means how was I going to get paid? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Then of course, right. So
and they didn't think you was going to catch it.
Yeah. So I gave it to the lawyer and the lawyer was like, bro, like, he basically advised me not to sign it. And why did I pay this guy $2,000? Just sit down and look at a contract, you know what I'm saying, and not heed his advice. You know what I'm saying? And so I opted to not do the deal. Everybody was like, bro, like we work hard to get you in the door, like, because I wasn't known. I wasn't in a circle of friends and people. I was an outsider, but I was talented and they knew it. But I felt like, I just didn't. I was uneasy about all of it because I felt like I'm gonna end up getting I just felt like I was going to, in that situation, I would end up being probably kind of halfway known. And I felt like they really wanted me more as a writer, not an artist. So I felt like
really
they were going to, I just had a feeling like they really weren't going to get I wanted to be an artist. I wanted my albums out. I didn't want to get shelved.
Right.
I didn't want to end up being writing these songs for everybody else. That would have been cool. But I was at that time, you know, I'm in my late 20s. I'm like, I need to strike now. You feel what I'm saying? So I need guarantees that the album's coming out and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And they're telling me, we guaranteeing you at least 2. Very, you know what I'm saying? But the deal was stretched out like 7 years or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so I'm just like, bro, like that's a long time, and you telling me, but then you know that you can get shelved. You can still get shelved. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because you're still going through the production company. So the whole way it was, the whole fact that it was a 360, nobody really was up on them like that. People knew they were doing them, but. You know, you know what I'm saying? This is like 2000. It's like 2000. You know, just like 2007, 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you know, I was advised to that was not a great deal, and so I just heeded that advice, and that was really the one time that I had my foot, you know, in the door, and I didn't sign it. And to this day, I wake up every day like, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't, but I've been made peace with my decision a long time ago. You know.
I didn't know you ever had that, but I guess everybody has that. Like, should I have